Hey, what's up? I hope you have a wonderful day. You are watching Simple Coding. Today, let's talk about different ways of creating Maven projects within Eclipse. As you may already knew, Eclipse is a popular Java integrated development environment, IDE. It has a Maven integrated component that will support a Maven project. Before we let's start, you may ask, what is Maven? If you go to this website, you might have to read through several pages before you understand what is Maven. But based on my experience, Maven is essentially a build automation tool. You can install the Maven as a standalone program in your local machine. You can issue the command to invoke the certain functionality of the Maven. Maven offers a concept called lifecycle. Let's take a look at it. What is lifecycle? A lifecycle in Maven contains several steps. Each step is called phase. And then also each step in a sequence. So for default lifecycle like this one, it contains so many different phases. And each phase is in sequence, which means any phase that before the another sequence has to be executed first. Each phase is representing a certain stage of the building process. So let's say you want to package a Java application. So you issue the command called mvn from the command line with space package. So this is a phase that you specified in the command line. Any phase before that, from here all the way down to here, will be executed one by one until it reaches this phase. So this is a concept of life cycle with different steps within, and each phase contains the one or many goals. So the goals are still like, it's almost like a sub-step. So this is how the Maven controls how to build an application based on the command line, and then you only need to do is to specify one phase. The second concept that offered by Maven is a dependency. Actually, the Maven is also a dependency management tool. A dependency in Java is almost equivalent to a Java library. So each Java library is packaged as a jar file. So a dependency in Maven is a jar file essentially. But each jar file might have its own dependencies. So Maven will try to grab these sub-dependencies, and then if it found that one sub-dependency has more dependency underneath itself, it will try to find these dependencies for you. So it's almost like a tree of dependencies from a top root dependency that you specify in a file called POM to Maven. And then Maven will start at that point and then pull down all the dependencies for you and then put into your local repository. And then there is no limit how many levels of dependencies that Maven can manage. For storing the dependencies, the Maven has a concept called the dependency repository. There are three different kind of repositories: the remote repository, global repository, and the local repository. In this video, we are not going to go through all the details of these concepts, but basically it's a repository of all the dependencies. The last, not least important concept for Maven is called Project Object Model file, POM file. A POM file is essential to Maven. It contains all the configuration of build for a specific Java project. So it contains all the specification of the dependencies that are required for this application, and also can contain the Maven plugin specific configuration. In addition to that, it also provides the basic project level information such as group ID, the artifact ID, and the version number. So these are the main three different concepts for Maven. So next, you might ask why we need to create the Maven project with Eclipse. Well, there are three reasons, I believe. First is for the best practice of system deployment. Nowadays, a lot of the organizations already separate the system development from the DevOps operations. The DevOps operation is basically a separate part of the IT department that is dedicated to build the application and deploy it into production and also provide the first level production support. The deployment could be in a locally hosted environment or in a cloud such as Microsoft Azure, Amazon Web Service. So because of that, they need to have a very good build process. And then the Maven provides excellent tool for a DevOps team to build a system in a continuous basis. But the thing is, because Maven compiles system based on the POM file, if your developer develop the system use the same POM file, the chances are that your applications that are running on local are almost identical as that one in production, except a certain differences such as application level configuration and also the hardware performance, the difference. So that is one best practice. Try to keep the local development the same as in production. So with Maven, you can keep these two environments almost in sync. Second is if you're working in a team environment with several developers, if each one is managing the Java library within Eclipse by themselves, the chances are that the version of each library could be different. And then if you include a new library in your local environment, you need to inform every member inside the team they need to include these libraries as well. So with a Maven file, all you need to do is you check into a source code repository, such as like a Git, like the server version, or even as old CVS, that you push in, and then the other developer all needed to do is pull down the POM file. Since they are running developing the application as a Maven project within Eclipse, they can synchronize with their local environment with the POM file that they just pull down, and then the Maven will pull down all the dependencies with the correct version. So at a certain point, that each developer's local machine will be exactly the same. The third reason is that sometimes you want to develop some common libraries in your organization. The Maven provides an excellent vehicle for you to do that. So remember that I mentioned that the Maven provides different repositories of dependency. And then one of the repository you can use is a global repository that you basically put your library into that repository. And anybody who wanted to use it just needed to specify that location of the repository, and then they specify the dependency from that repository in the POM file. Then Maven will automatically try to pull down these libraries for the developer in your local machine. Sometimes you also want to separate your project into sub-components. Each component is still within the same Eclipse environment, but are different projects. So you can include these separate projects into a main applications POM file, and then it will automatically think this is a repository that is from local. This is a local repository, and then all the dependencies that you specify within the POM file will be pulled down from local as well. If it's not available, it will try to compile it. So these are the three reasons that I believe are critical for us to use the Maven project within Eclipse. Well, this concludes this video. In next video, I'm going to demonstrate 3 different methods of creating Maven projects within Eclipse. Also, if you would like to give us feedback, please leave a comment below. If you would like us to create a video for a specific topic, please also point out. If you like this channel, please subscribe. Until next time, happy coding!